We are good, Marco Nessie, whenever you want to start.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Can we have a roll call?
Marco Nessie,
Here.
Senator Robert Orr is excused. Assemblyman Angelo Morinello.
Here.
Mayor Robert Restaino.
Here.
Andrea Kleizak.
Here.
And William Ross is excused today.
All right. Guests. Introduction of guests. Is there?
Do you just want me to read? Sorry.
Dr. Guru here, sir. Good morning. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Thank you, sir. Meeting minutes from May 30th. I was excused from that meeting, so has everybody had an opportunity to look those over? And are there any questions or comments, changes? None. I make a motion that we approve them. I need a second.
I'll second.
Second. I'll second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Meeting minutes approved. So, any unfinished business? Okay. So let's get to the Center for Kashmir Incorporated. Jeremy?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Most of the committee recently had a chance to visit the Center for Kashmir and get a guided tour by Dr. Guru.
Do you want to, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you want to have Dr. Guru just give just for the people that weren't on
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Was there anybody here that wasn't on the tour to give a brief
Dr. Guru, if you would, sir,
a few minutes?
Please give us a brief update for the folks that maybe weren't able to attend and update us on what's going on.
I'd be honored. So thank you firstly everybody in the committee members. We are always grateful to Cataract Fund for helping this project move forward. We have finally reached the phase where a lot of you visited the center, and it was such a joy but also a lot of work to restore this 100-year-old church to its place. And as you all saw, that it is restored to its place and it is ready to kind of be a part of the community again. And we are currently working on the last or the final phase before we open the doors, which is the exhibit design and the curation. And we have interviewed 3 companies. We have one more company to interview, and we are interviewing 2 companies at the American Alliance of Museums meeting in 2 weeks in Philadelphia. We also, on a minor note, were approached by the library and some group which does book review or a book club of historic Niagara Falls and read about the history of Niagara Falls. They needed space. So the good news is that it is put to use by the community right away. They are doing their first book club with about 40 members from the city starting end of this month. So very happy that we always were worried that it will be abandoned, but looks like the community is coming forward. They wanted a space. We have provided them the space. We have to buy some chairs and all that, and they are ready to go. And any member who has not been there, we would be pleased to give them a tour, or anybody you think should come for a tour. And any group that wants to use this, the whole purpose is that it should also be used for community work. We are happy to entertain that idea and help out. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Guru. You can go ahead and drop off now. I appreciate your time and your brief description. Okay, so what's being presented to the committee here today is not a new application for a grant, but yet an amendment to the second award. At the time of awarding, the project cost was $3.635 million, And Dr. Guru was awarded $300,000, which represented 8.25%. As you are aware, we are able to give up to 20% of a project. At that point, there was some concern of over construction. Having been through the facility, I think we see the value in the vision and the necessity for the detail that was paid to this Center for Kashmir. The request today before you is that we amend that second grant to incorporate the standard 20%, which has risen to 6.3 million, which would give us a additional 427 to be added to that 300,000 already awarded.
Any questions or comments? Any issues? I think the place is really coming along. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, in speaking with Senator Bork, as far as if we were to allow for this, I guess, increase, what do we foresee as kind of the amount needed to see the completion of this?
Andrew, do you mind if I jump in real quick?
No, go ahead.
Good, thanks. Yeah, if you remember, to go back on this project, I believe the 8% or 8.25% that was originally awarded, there was some limitation on the funds available at that time, because at that point, I believe we were committed to a Third Street project that never did get off the ground, well over $1 million of grants. And so we were limited with what was left in the fund, if I'm not mistaken. Having said that, what we anticipate happening is entering into a modification and amending of the phase 2 grant agreement with the company, moving it from 8.25% to 20% of the qualified project costs moving forward. And again, it would be a maximum of what Jeremy said of, I think it was
727.
727 moving forward. But again, that would be only 20% up to the amount of the project costs on this. If we went over the project costs, we only obligated for the 20% of the project costs. So in essence, we would be moving this for both phase 1 and phase 2 is 20% total of the $5 million investment by the company. And what we anticipate then is to put an expiration date at the end of this year, that any and all expenditures must be provided to the agency. Super-Owned does a great job of putting them all in a spreadsheet report and going over everything with a fine-tooth comb, so to avoid any duplicity. And I believe that would be, again, I would enter into a modified or amended grant agreement with the company along those terms.
Okay. Now, is there a belief that, as far as, I mean, I think everybody on the call has been here, most of us, and seen the great work that they've done. And, you know, I think there's a confidence that this is going to get completed. Is there going to be some sort of delta after we put this in? You know, should we increase this? As far as getting this to completion, is it safe to say that there's a confidence this is all going to get resolved and be seen through completion?
seems they're committed to getting this thing done. And they're trying to get funds other places as well. I'm pretty confident that they'll get it done.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, you out there? You have a
Here.
comment?
No.
Nope. Okay, great.
Andrew, I can, I mean, one of the things that, the reasons that we, you know, Mark, Gabriel, and I were talking about this proposal for the committee, and I think, you know, Mark came up with a great idea. One of the reasons it was structured as an amendment to the second grant as opposed to an application for a new one is that he's pretty far along through this second grant, meaning once he reaches that total project cost of, I think it's like $3.1 million, even though, you know, we all know the project cost has gone well beyond that, he's close to reaching that benchmark. And when he does, this will allow him to receive the amended grant amount of what, $727,000, which, if you recall, when we went through the tour, that was one of his biggest issues, was that he needed, you know, access to capital relatively soon. So I can't say that this capital, I know that he had, you know, a loan that he was talking about that carried a higher interest rate. So obviously this is going to assist with that a great deal. But you're right, there's still a gap, and I think he, you know, intends on doing additional fundraising, and there might be some additional requests out there. I don't know if that answers your question. I can circle back to Dr. Guru and get that answer for you if you'd like.
No, I just wanted to, I guess that's just one of the questions that I had. I know all the great work that he's done, and he's kind of put in the long days and nights and put together something beautiful. So I just wanted to kind of float that out there. But I, you know, like all of you have kind of noted, there's total confidence that this gets done to completion with this kind of amendment.
Do we have a motion?
I move.
Did I hear a yes there first? Do I have a second?
I'll second. Morinello.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Do we need a roll call, Mark, for this thing or not?
You don't, we're just an advisory committee, there's no resolution being drafted that causes any monetary transfer, so no, that should be sufficient, thank you.
Okay, so the motion carries. Any other matters you want to discuss, talk about? None? Okay. Make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. All in favor? Getting off the phone or getting your pictures out of there?
Thank you, everybody, for making the time on such short notice. We are trying to have this completed before, you know, this coming board meeting. But honestly, everybody's got such a busy schedule. It's always tough to schedule these, so thank you. And sorry for the confusion yesterday. We're just trying to accommodate everybody's schedule, so thank you all.